In the heart of a modern African city, where glass towers kissed the sky and luxury hid behind guarded gates, stood a mansion that never slept. At night, it came alive. Soft piano music floated through the air as the camera would glide across polished marble floors, golden chandeliers, and velvet curtains. Laughter echoed, rich, carefree, almost intoxicating. 5 women sat together, dressed in elegant black. They were beautiful, powerful, untouchable. They called themselves the Widows' Club. ADA, their leader, raised her glass slowly, her eyes calm but unreadable. They call us widows, her voice lingered, smooth and controlled. Like we are victims, but no one ever asks how we survived. To freedom, she said. To freedom, they echoed. Glasses clinked. They drank. And for a moment, it looked like happiness. Until the camera rested on a framed photograph across the room. 5 men, all smiling, all dead. The music stopped. Behind closed doors, the truth lived. Later that night, Ada locked herself in a private room with the others. The laughter was gone. The air had changed. Heavy, tense. Chioma's hands trembled slightly. The police came again, she said, her voice barely steady. Bimp scoffed, leaning back like nothing in the world could touch her. They always come. They always leave. Zara, quiet as ever, watched them all. This time feels different, she said. Ada said nothing at first. Instead, she placed a file gently on the table. Inside were documents, insurance papers, signatures, large payouts, everything clean. Insurance claims approved, Ada said calmly. No mistakes. Nora, the youngest, swallowed hard. We're safe, right? Ada looked at her. A long silence followed, cold, calculated. We are safe, as long as we stay united. But unity wasn't how it started. It started with survival. Ada remembered the night her husband stood over her, shouting, his voice filled with control and cruelty. You are nothing without me. Later that night, he laughed as he lifted a drink to his lips. Moments later, he collapsed. Ada didn't scream. She didn't move. She just watched. Bimp's story was different. Her husband didn't hide his betrayal. He flaunted it. She smiled sweetly, handing him a drink. Drink first, then we talk. He did. She walked away before the glass even touched the table. Chioma's memory haunted her the most. Her husband was already weak, coughing, struggling. She stood there, her hands shaking. I'm sorry, she whispered. And even now, she still heard his voice. Back in the present, the weight of their choices was no longer invisible. I didn't think it would feel like this, Chioma confessed, her voice cracking. Bimp laughed coldly. Feel like what? Wealth. But outside the mansion walls, someone was watching. Detective Kunle stood across the street the next day, eyes fixed on the house. 5 husbands, he muttered. Same pattern, same outcome. Inside the police station, files covered his desk. They all died suddenly, he said, flipping through pages. But not violently, no evidence, another officer replied. Kunle leaned back, his gaze sharp. Not yet. Inside the mansion, the cracks were beginning to show. The laughter had faded. The silence had grown louder. I hear his voice every night, Chioma admitted. Bimp snapped, irritated. Then spend the money louder. Zara folded her arms. We're not thinking clearly anymore. Nora hesitated before speaking. What if we stop? The room froze. Ada stood slowly. Stop, she repeated. She walked toward Nora, her presence commanding, suffocating. There is no stop, she said quietly. There is only forward. But fear had already taken root. That night, alone in her room, Chioma cried. Her phone rang. She hesitated, then answered. You don't know me, a voice said. But I know what happened. Her blood ran cold. You need protection, the voice continued. From your friends. It was Detective Kunle. The next day, Chioma couldn't hide it. Her silence, her trembling, her eyes. Zara noticed immediately. What did you do? She asked sharply. Nothing. Chioma replied too quickly. Ada said nothing. But she saw everything. Then came the knock. Loud, violent. Open the door. Police. Panic exploded through the mansion. Nora froze. Oh my god, Bimp paced wildly. We're finished. And Chioma, broke. I told them, she cried. Silence fell like a blade. You betrayed us, Bimp shouted. I was scared. Chioma sobbed. You signed our death, Zara said coldly. Ada raised her hand. Instant silence. And then, she smiled. Relax, Ada said calmly. I planned for this. Confusion filled the room. She opened a drawer and pulled out passports. We leave tonight, and the police? Bimp asked. Ada's smile widened. They won't find anything. Moments later, the police stormed the mansion. They searched every room, every drawer, every corner, but found nothing. No evidence. No proof. Nothing. That night, at the airport, the 5 women walked together once more. But something had changed. They were no longer united, only bound by fear and secrets. Ada walked ahead, composed as ever. Power isn't money, her voice echoed. It's knowing how to disappear. Behind her, Chioma turned back one last time. Fear filled her eyes. Regret, guilt, and something worse. She wasn't sure they had escaped. Ada glanced back briefly and smiled. Some secrets don't die, they travel.